Hi, this is Todd Banta, and you're watching Call It How You See It TV here at Final Touch Crew.
Hey, it's Kelly Youve, and you're now watching Call It How You See It. Hey, it's Kelly, and you're watching Call It How You See It TV. Today we have our special guest, Todd Banta. Did I say your last name right?
Yeah, it's Banta, B-A-N-T-A.
So tell me about your business, how did it all started, and everything else.
Well, I used to go mobile, and we'd go to the different car lots and stuff like that, and do paint work and touch up and windshield repairing, and heck, we even did gold plating back then, wood grain dashes. A lot of that stuff is phased out now, but and then we added a second van on, and well, in the wintertime and things like that, it got to the point where it was too cold and too wet and too hard to work outside. So I built a facility so we could be inside after having several places that we rented, and that's where we're at right now.
So how long have you actually owned your own business?
We moved here from St. Louis in 1995. My family's originally from Frankfurt. And when my wife and I got married, and then we ended up moving here in 95 and started in business then, and we lived in Lawrenceburg. And like I said, we had two vans that ran mobily, and did a whole lot of work for dealers in Lexington and Louisville, even as far as E-Town. But yeah, that's basically how we got started.
So looking back at your life, did you ever see yourself owning your own business? Did you ever see yourself doing something like that?
Yeah, I guess after all the different jobs and stuff that I had, it was kind of hard to work for someone else. And I had a lot of great ideas and stuff in the companies I worked for. And after exploring this with a buddy of mine, I was working two full-time jobs and trying to go to school. And he was doing this same type of stuff, but he was going mobile. And I liked it, and I enjoyed working with cars and working with my hands and dealing actually with people. And started working with those guys, and I worked with them for a couple years, and told my boss at the time that I would like to get involved in something like this.
Wow. So another question for you. What actually motivates you to carry on with your business? What actually motivates you?
I guess the love for cars. I really enjoy taking something that may not be the best looking thing in the world and turn it into something very nice. And I enjoy being around public. I'm a very big people person. I'm always trying to please people, probably too much, but that's just me. But I really enjoy what I do, and you really have to enjoy what you're doing. If not, you're going to be miserable. And well, sometimes I'm not as happy as I'd like to be, but it beats some of the things that I could have been doing.
So let's get back to cars. Speaking of cars, so what's the craziest thing you ever done with the car?
This is kind of emotional and a really good experience too. We had a gentleman, his name was Doc Penn, and we had a SSR, and I had put in a stereo bed system in, and you can see it on our website. And it was, like I said, a Chevy SSR that we'd put a huge stereo system in it, and we put the video system in it. The lid lifted up, and it had two TVs in it, had a stereo system in it, actually had a gaming center in it, and it had two subs and 3 amps in the bottom of it. And then we painted the whole inside of it and fiberglassed everything to make it look like the outside of his car, because he had a custom paint job on it. And that all started from when his son came down here and was turning around in our parking lot, and he had hit the wall in the back. So I fixed a fender for him, and we started talking about a stereo and went from there. Unfortunately, Doc Penn has passed away, and that's why I said it's a little bit emotional for us. And just a really good guy, really good customer.
What kind of car do you actually drive? Did you actually make the car yourself? What all did you do with the car?
No, unfortunately, I can't design or make cars, but my son's going to college for that, so we'll see what happens with that. Tanner's got a bright future. No, I drive a 2011 Toyota Tundra, but yeah, I've lifted it. I've put different tires on it. I've put a bull bar on the front of it. I've put DVD players in the rear. You can actually view Netflix through them, so our electronics department was able to make it so you can watch Netflix through them. We are getting ready to lift it a little bit higher and put some different wheels and tires on it. And we tinted the windows and put a light bar on the back of it. Just a lot of small things just to make it my truck versus someone else's.
So what's actually your favorite car that you know of?
I would have to say it's a Plymouth Barracuda, 1970 model. It's my dream car. I would love to have one. I would actually like to restore one from start to finish. I've looked at several of them lately. They're just wanting a lot of money for them, but they are worth a lot when they are completely restored.
Now, looking back at your business, how has your business grown ever since then?
Let's see. Like I said, we started off in '95, and we were mobile, and we were going to different car lots and stuff and having to do the work outside. We went from having just me as an employee to hiring another person in the van with me to having another van on the road and having a helper with me and having a helper with him, and then building this facility here. And we've grown and expanded quite a bit to where we're taking on a lot more than just touch up with the electronics and the whole aftermarket field with wheels and tires and bull bars and TVs, DVD players, step bars, lifts, just about everything you can imagine except for mechanical stuff.
Not only is your business grow, I noticed that you're also owning more properties as well. What goals do you have next?
Well, it is to expand here. We're planning on adding a couple bays to this existing facility. We were going to, I had bought some property next to the shop here, and we were going to add another facility on there, but it looks like the money restraints are going to keep us from doing that. It's a lot of money. It may still do that. It's still up in the air, but we're definitely going to add on to this because we've ran out of room almost as quick as we built it. But that's basically where we're at with this point right now. So we're going to add a little bit, to the right side of the building if you're looking at it from the road.
So I know that you also have employers as well. What does it take to have a job here in Final Touch Crew?
I like them to come in clean cut, no alcohol, no drug problems, and this day and time it seems to be more challenging than ever. I like them to be personable, just have a good attitude, and come to work on time, and come to work every day, and come to work on time, and that's what everybody's looking for. But like I said, those you might not think it, but that is getting more and more challenging every day to find people that are actually meet all that criteria.
Do you have any projects coming up with any cars that do you also do you sell cars as well? Any project that do you have a car that you're actually selling out that right now?
We flip a lot of cars. We'll buy them and fix them up and flip them. I don't have one going on right now at the present time. We just have a lot of cars that we're working on personally for people. We've got a Jeep out here that we just put a new grill in and put a new bumper with some lights in it and a switch panel on the inside so he can control all of his lights. We just finished up a Tacoma for a customer from Frankfurt Toyota that we've put in a light bar in the lower. It's a bull bar, so it has a light in it. We're getting ready to put a 40-inch light on the roof. We did wheels and tires, graphics, bug shields, just added a whole bunch of stuff to his vehicle. But we've always got some project going on. So if I was to answer that question, it would be very many, because we're just doing a bunch of them all the time.
Well, since you're on Cali How You See It TV, the best TV show ever, what challenges do you have when you're working with customers? And I know that's a lot of challenges because you have a lot of cars, a lot of customers to deal with, and a lot of cars to fix. What challenges do you have?
Being to overcome and adapt to all their objections and questions, I guess, is a thing. Sometimes they come in with a negative attitude, but I usually try to smooth that over and help them understand exactly what it is that we're getting into with their car and how we're going to finish it and what it's going to look like. Because a lot of times, if you're looking at something, you can't see what the finished project's going to be. So I'll try to help guide them and step them through that. And sometimes that's a little challenging. Sometimes it's real easy. It just depends on the nature of the person.
Now, for the younger ones, the college kids that would like to be like you, own their own business someday, do you have any message for them?
Hey, work hard. That's what it takes. When I first started in business, I guess for the first, and a lot of people probably want to hear this or want to work these kind of hours, but for the first 10 years of me being in business, I probably worked anywhere from 16 to 18 hours. I did that for almost 10 years to get to where I'm at. We don't have the biggest and best shop in the world, but it's going pretty good. And it does take a lot of time, effort, devotion, and you've got to have someone behind the scenes. And I thank God every day that I have my wife Jenny that takes care of all the paperwork and all the behind the scenes stuff. Because without her and without you having somebody like that on your team to do the accounting and stuff like that, you're going to fail, and you're going to fail miserably. It's just very important, very key to have someone like that, on your team.
Hear that, folks? Family's important. That's the message right there. So one last question. What do you have for your customers, people who don't know you, to come? Do you have anything else you want to say?
Just if you haven't tried us and you haven't checked us out, come visit us. We've got a small showroom, and I can show you what we can do start to finish from your to your vehicle, or just come in and visit with us and maybe get to know us. Because generally, I like to establish a relationship with people that we're doing business with, and we have a lot of repeat business. So we try to establish a rapport with you and develop a relationship, and just hopefully we can take care of all your wants and needs.
All right, guys, thank you for watching. If you like what you see, thumbs up. If you don't like it, subscribe anyways. It's free. I'm here in Final Touch having a good time. Bye-bye.